Brian, you returned to win aways in September in Tree Arena across the road there. It's another fight week in Dublin. How are you feeling?
Feeling fantastic. Very, very excited again for this one. Nothing beats a hometown fight, you know what I mean? So I'm really excited. Big crowd coming up and good fighting on my hands.
You know, it was last time in September, the build-up to the fight, you were a bit more, wouldn't say nasty, you were a bit more angry about your opponent that we've seen in the past. And I've seen a couple of interviews recently, you've kind of carried that across. Is that a conscious decision for you to change that attitude toward the opponent? Or?
No, I didn't like the last guy and I don't like this guy. It's not like a conscious thing that I'm doing. At the end of the day, they're trying to take... I think it's more of a realisation that you know, I put so much time and effort into it, and it's not just me, it's my family I'm doing it for too, and they're trying to take something from me, and I'm not going to let that happen. I've been conscious in that regard. I'm not trying to bring it to the forefront, but it's in the back of my mind. That's kind of a good realisation I've made. You
mentioned they're trying to take something from you. Is 2023 a year where you want to go right back up to fighting ranked opponents and move right up towards the belt spot?
Yeah, I feel like this fight will put me back among good talk. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get back into the rankings. I think you need to be into the rankings to get up towards the belt, and that's the short-term goal now, is to get back into the rankings. Whether this fight does it or not, I'm not sure, but I can only take it one fight at a time, and you know, the goal is to destroy this guy on Saturday night.
This card is full of your teammates, SPG teammates. There's a lot of younger guys like Kenny, Azil. Yourself and Peter are kind of some of the elder statesmen now. What's it feel like for you to be someone in that role at this stage of your career? You know,
I'm honoured to represent SPG and to, I suppose, to be one of the veteran guys of the gym and Bellator, and you know, the guys that are coming up are sensational. You know, and you can see them. You know, they're super. I don't like to use the word talented. They work extremely hard to be where they're at, but. Look, we have a great thing in SPG at the minute, and I still feel like one of the young guys, to be honest, in there. Probably don't look it anymore, but you know, we have a great crew.
I want to get your thoughts on Pedro's fight. It's a massive fight for him, a title eliminator. What's he been like in the gym the last few weeks, and just your thoughts on the fight as a whole?
He's been his normal maniac self. Pedro is mad, but an unbelievable work ethic, extremely skilled everywhere. I've got to see a lot of his spars. He got to see a lot of mine. We're able to give each other good feedback, and he's looked fantastic. He's a great fight on his hands. Jeremy Kennedy is excellent, and but I think Pedro, he has a pace that is very, very hard to keep up with, and I don't think anyone in that division can do so.
And a special main event on Saturday, the return of Yaroslav after everything he's been through. He's been in SPG. Have you come across him at all?
Yeah, he's a gentleman, an absolute gentleman, and an absolute killer. Again, that's a crazy fight. I love that fight. Storley and him is again part two, but. Two extremely good mixed martial artists, and it's a treat for the fans. You know what I mean? It's I can't really pick, but I'm gonna pick Amosov. I really want him to win, but Storley is the man too.
And it's not hard to pull inspiration from his story, what he's been through last year.
Oh, it's incredible, and like you put it perfectly, is like we kind of have it easy when you look at what they go through, and I think that from my point of view, like of say, you know, you look at. The real term, like we're standing behind the curtain in the Tree Arena, and it's a big thing. You know, you're going to fight a man, but it's an enjoyable thing. We're getting to choose that, but you know what he's been through is unbelievable. I can't even fathom it.
Hi Brian. Obviously, the last time you fought across the road, Ego was called out. Ego accepted. Scott Coker said Ego fight was going to happen, and it didn't happen. Like no, okay, he was supposed to fight James. Now that fight's not happening either. That must be a massive frustration for you, a fight that kind of makes lots of sense to not happen.
I knew you were going to ask this, and I was like, well, I answered this, and I still don't really know. I would like, all I can do is, you know, I thought I'd done everything the correct way. I put on a great performance. The finish didn't come. He had a jaw like granite, but sometimes in fights you kind of feel it that it mightn't be there. But I tried to put him out, but it was a clinic, but maybe the finish would have been the cherry on top to get a bigger fight. I'm not sure, but I got the crowd going. I put a good promo in, and the fight didn't come. But I trust Bellator. They've been very good to me. I think it's down the line, either him or a top 5, top 10 opponent. I can see that being next.
Obviously, the last time, like you arguably got a bigger reception than Peter in the main event, even with the walkout song and all, and. To still be on the undercard, like to get the main card fight like Peter or even like Kieran is getting, there must be a bit of frustration there as well. And not to be all negative, but it's tough.
It's another question, and you're going to ask. But I'll be honest, like the competitor in me wants to be top of the bill. I want to be the main event. I want to be in the co-main. I want to be certainly on the main card. I have the crowd there. I have the fighting style for it, and I have the skill for it. You called me a top 20 bantamweight in the world recently, and I agree with you. And I feel like that I could headline a card. That's the competitor in me. The fighter and the fighter in me would fight someone next door in whatever that room is or outside. So either way, Sean, I have a tough opponent on Saturday night, and that's my goal. My goal is to do the same thing, just get the finish. But I'm going to keep winning until I can't ignore it. You know what I mean? And I think that's just the way. I'm going to just keep being myself. I'm not going to try and be someone or something different. Keep doing my thing, and I think that will be someday turn into a world champion.
Is there kind of a stopwatch on that a little bit as well? Because like you've been fighting for a long time, like you were one of the ones on the yellow mats, and you know the lower weight class as well. Obviously, you can't keep going as long as the higher weight classes. Is it like a thing of it has to be done in the next few fights? You know, and it's kind of, does that put more pressure on you, or is it the thing like you have to be done?
I do understand what you're saying, but I'd like to ask: have I looked slower in the last fight? Last two fights, I look better every single fight. I had a fight in Russia where I had a lot of things going on, and take that one out of it. But the last 5-6 fights, I've looked very good and only getting better. All my stats are getting better. All my performances are getting better. So I feel like I'm still like I was always kind of a late bloomer with certain things in different sports and different things that I've done. Maybe MMA is the same. So I'm not putting a stopwatch on myself because it just puts more pressure. I'm blessed to be standing in front of you giving interviews, and I'm blessed to be walking out on Saturday night. So I'm just taking it one day at a time, one step at a time, and I really do believe that the Bellator do have, they do have plans, and they're going to cash in on that soon. I believe it just wasn't for this card. Maybe the next.
What do you think of Luca as an opponent? I was talking to someone on the local scene the other day, and they said, watch out for the illegal strikes. That was one of the things. He's had a few points taken in a few of his different fights. What do you think of him as an opponent and kind of him as maybe a competitor above it all?
Yeah, I don't like that style. I can't stand it. And I think it's 4 fights I've counted where he's put an illegal knee in, or 3 illegal knees, and there was something else illegal as well. And he puts his hands up as if he doesn't know it. Like, you're either like are a cheat, or you're too dumb to understand the rules of the fight of the sport that you're in. You know what I mean? And I'd be going more towards the cheat end of things. But look, he's a tough opponent. He's got I think he's got a big power in his right hand. He's got a good calf kick. He's got a good double leg. But who doesn't? You know what I mean? And I've done my homework on him, and I'm gonna exploit all his strengths and weaknesses. You can be guaranteed that.
Last one from me, obviously, you always say for family and flag, and it's a big time for Irish sport at the moment. We're coming into the GA season, we're about to bring home the Rugby World Cup and all of that. How big is it for you to be going in there with you always hoist that flag and to represent Ireland? It's
everything to me, and my girls pick up on it too. I always have my heart. It's our love button. I don't know if the girls have it. They draw it on, but I got it tattooed on. And before we left, they picked out 2 colours to colour it in, and it was the tricolour that they made. So it rubs off on them, but it's enormous for me. I'm a huge fan of Irish history. I'm the proudest Irishman you could meet, and to do it in Dublin where so much has happened, to be in Ireland and representing Ireland is just a dream come true. Ever since I was a very small child, I have dreamed about being a professional athlete representing my country, and here I am, and again, blessed and super grateful for it.
I have the Wexford socks to represent again there.
Hey, very good. I'm Washington's lad.
In the last fight of the Silva, you showed just an incredible improvement in your footwork. I think I said after you it was very reminiscent of Miguel Cotto. What is it in this fight that you have that you feel like you've levelled up to the same that you have with the footwork in the previous fight? The last fight, the footwork was a big element of the game plan because he was very unorthodox, very wild. So it was about hitting and getting out and maybe looking for the counter. This is a little bit of a different game plan. I'm not going to give too much away. But my footwork is always something I've worked on because now I have a fantastic striking coach at the minute, Cormac O'Brien. He's been with me for the last couple of fights, and we've seen big improvements. But a lot of my training in the last few years has been solo training, being by myself, being an expert on a lot of drills and a lot of things I've done with footwork, and it shows. My footwork is I think one of my best attributes. We're talking there about opportunities. Is it true you had to turn down a spot in the tournament?
Yeah, I did, and I wanted to actually say a big thank you to Mike Cogan and Scott Coker for all the opportunities given me with that one in particular. And I really regretted having to turn it. Sorry, I'll rephrase it. It was unfortunate that I had to turn it down. My daughter had to undergo surgery, and we were waiting on results to come back from that. Thankfully, it all came back, but I would have been away while waiting for those results. I couldn't leave my wife and my kids in that spot, so I do it every day. I turn down the opportunity again, but like I'm hoping that like my chance will come back around. They know why, and I think they know why too. I can put it up to anyone in the top 10. I can beat anyone in the top 10. So, you know, I'm not looking past Saturday. Yeah. Let's put this guy away on Saturday and let's look onwards. You know.
I'm delighted to hear she's doing well, and
yeah.
it's a good one to have as well. If she ever cocks back, you cost me £1 million.
Yeah.
You gave a great promo after your last fight. Do you have anything in mind for this one? I know you said you're not looking past your opponent, but you know, like you said, the clock is ticking on you, and you want to get that next level left.
The only thing that's in my head is don't sing this time because it was fucking awful. But no, I'm not like I did. The last one I didn't really think. I just felt it, and I'll do the same. Now I have enough things to be thinking of. I'm thinking about putting this guy away on Saturday, and what comes after. We'll see. He'll probably be energetic as that crowd. It's just something else, you know. You just have no choice but to feed off of it.
Appreciate that. Thanks very much.
No worries. Oh, good. Thanks, guys.